Welcome to the AI Queens podcast, the show where women entrepreneurs learn to ditch the overwhelm, embrace AI, and build businesses fit for royalty. I'm Erika Stanley, your host and tech expert, here to deliver tools, tips, and actionable strategies to help you scale smarter. Let's get to it.
Hey there, Queens. Welcome back to the AI Queens podcast, the show that takes women entrepreneurs from AI curious to confidently ruling their businesses with tech that actually works for them. I'm your host, Erika Stanley, and I am so freaking excited to share some news with you today. First up, I've got a huge announcement about something I have been working on behind the scenes. Then I've got two massive game changers that are going to completely shift how you think about using AI in your business. One that is an updated framework that you've heard me talk about before, about AI prompting, that's going to make your prompting so much better. And the other one is how you can start doing deep research with AI that used to cost thousands of dollars, and it's now available to you for the price of a monthly subscription that you're potentially already paying for with AI. So grab your coffee, straighten your crown, and let's dig in. First, I literally cannot contain my excitement. AIQueens.com is officially live. Now, I have been trying to snag this URL forever, and I finally got it. I have been working on the site for a while in the background, a little quietly, but now it's ready and it's live. So if you've been wondering how you can work with me directly, or if you want access to all of my free resources in one place, this is your new home base. You're going to find all of the custom GPTs I've talked about on the podcast, resources for hiring me to speak or to run a workshop for your team. It's all there, and it's actually organized so that you can find what you need without extra chaos. Now, here's the other big news. I have been testing a new service that I am absolutely obsessed with. It's called the One-on-One AI Chat CEO Edition. It's a 60-minute one-on-one session with me where we are going to walk through how you're using AI or not using it yet in your business. And then I'm going to show you exactly how to level up using the tools and strategies that are actually going to work for your specific business model. Now, I just hosted my very first session on this earlier this week, and it was amazing. My client came in thinking that she needed help with prompting. However, after she took my online survey, which I then used to review how she was using AI, and then after like 15 minutes of our chat, we both realized she was already using all of the right tools, just in the wrong way. So by the end of the hour, she had a full AI workflow mapped out that she's going to use that's going to save her hours each week. And here's what she said at the end of our call. And this is a direct quote. "This was so helpful, Erika. I feel like this is exactly what I needed to just take action. This saved me so much time and confusion." And that is exactly why I created this service. The intro price is $4.95, and you can book it right now on AIQueens.com. So if you're ready to stop dabbling and start strategically implementing AI in your business, go book that session. I can't wait to dig into your specific situation and show you what's possible. All right, let's talk about the first game changer, Crown 2.0. Now, this is an updated version of the prompting framework that I introduced earlier this year, and it's way more practical and powerful for how I know you all are actually using AI every day. Now, you've heard me say some of these things before. First of all, I'm not trying to turn you into a prompt engineer. I'm all about process over prompts, putting the chat back into ChatGPT, right? But giving your AI the right structure up front, that's the difference between getting results that are like, meh, and oh my gosh, this robot actually knows me. So don't forget, your AI is like a super green, really enthusiastic intern. It really wants to help, but it doesn't know a thing unless you tell it. And that's where Crown 2.0 comes in. So whether you're using ChatGPT or Google Gemini or Perplexity or Claude, this is a great way to start your prompts to make sure that your AI knows enough to give you a really great response right out of the gate. So this is the Crown Framework 2.0. C is for context. Now, this is your business background, your niche, your voice, your audience, your values, your specific service offerings. If you've used the BISH framework that I shared before, where I walked you through exactly how to create your custom AI assistant, this is where all of that information goes. You want to give it enough background so it knows about you and can give you a good response. Now, the R in Crown is for role. If you had unlimited money, if money were no object, and you could hire somebody to do this specific task, what would that job description look like? Who would you hire, right? That's who your AI should become. For example, if you're asking it to write a social media caption, the role might be a social media expert with 20 years of experience in B2B marketing who specializes in engagement and conversion. That is a really specific job title, a specific role for this specific task. O in Crown is for outcomes. So, what exactly do you want? Are you looking for a blog post, a sales email, a social media caption? What is the goal? Are you looking for more traffic or more conversions? Is this just about brand awareness? I want you to be clear about both the format and the win, because both of those are technically outcomes. And that's the big O here. W in Crown is for warnings. What don't you want? Maybe it's no emojis or no sarcasm, no generic AI words like elevate or empower, right? So maybe if you are in a specific niche like finance and you're not allowed to give specific financial advice, right? So that's a no-go that you would definitely want to put into this warning section. So think about things that you don't want AI to do. This is like a negative piece of the prompt. And then N in Crown is for next questions. You are going to ask the AI to ask you questions until it's confident that it has what it needs. Now, this is where most people drop the ball, but honestly, it's like the secret sauce that will make your prompts legendary. And it's really going to help with those outcomes. Whenever I tell people this little hack about asking the AI to ask you questions, it is mind-blowing for people how much better their responses get, because it's going to ask you and then it's going to help fill in the gaps until it knows exactly what it needs to give you the response you're looking for. So, Crown 2.0, it's built for the tools you're actually using, GPT-4o, Claude Sonnet, Gemini, not just for the fancy deep reasoning models, which is what I built the original Crown framework for. It's also easier to remember, more flexible, and actually useful in the day-to-day. Now, you can download the full Crown 2.0 guide at aiqueens.com or from my Substack. Moving on to our second game changer, and this is the big one. This is the main topic for our podcast today. Using deep research. And this is where things get really cool, really exciting. I totally nerd out on this stuff. Little bit of a side story. I used to work for an agency where we did tons of audience research. We had this expensive subscription service that helped us research demographic information on target buyers for a multi-million-dollar client. Now, our team would spend hours and days analyzing home buyer data, analytics, demographics, and then use all of that information for our Google ad campaigns, our social media campaigns. We would get really, really granular on the type of people we were targeting. Here's what's wild. That same level of research that used to require an expensive subscription and a whole dedicated team, now small businesses have access to it through AI. We're talking about research capabilities that used to cost thousands of dollars. Now they're available with the price of your monthly AI subscription. Let's talk about the tools here. Deep research is available on most of the platforms that y'all are using, like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, and a lot of them offer free access, or they're part of the baseline affordable plans that you could possibly already be on, right? So starting with Perplexity, they give you 5 deep research queries a day for free. If you're on their $20 a month plan, then you get 500 a day, which is just crazy and super affordable. Claude, they give you 50 free messages per day on their free tier and thousands more on their pro plan. And they don't really differentiate between the deep research and the regular messages, but it does cap you out after a certain number of tokens. And tokens is kind of like characters, kind of like letters, words. Basically, you're not going to get that many with Claude. And it's going to gap you out and say, nope, you're done for the day. You can start asking questions again at this time tomorrow. So, but if you are on the Pro plan, if you're paying the $20 a month, then you get a ton more. Gemini also offers limited free queries and a ton more for, $20 a month. What I love about Gemini, though, is that on their free plan, it seems to really, really do some deep level research. Like I ran the same query through Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT, and Gemini looked at over 350 sources, whereas Claude and ChatGPT gave me less than 50. So if you are limited and you don't have the budget and you want like a really deep level research, Gemini is a great place to start. And then ChatGPT, if you're on the free plan, you are going to get access to some research on the free plan, but the full magic is going to unlock with the Pro upgrade. Again, all of these are just $20 a month. Not that you have to pay for all of them, but it is fun to go in and play around with the free versions before you decide which one works best for you. Now, before I get into exactly what to research, let's talk about how to actually access deep research mode within these tools, because it's not always obvious, but it's basically within a similar place in all four of the ones I'm talking about. Within these platforms, you're going to see a little icon or a dropdown right below the text input where you would be putting in your prompt, where you can choose a mode or a tool. And this is where you can activate web access or deep research. Sometimes it's going to be labeled as research. Sometimes it's deep research. They've all got different phrases that they call it, but you'll see it there if it's available. If it's not, it's possible that you don't have access within the model or the subscription that you're using. And if that's the case, try it out in another model. Again, Google Gemini is a great place to get started because you get those 5 super deep research queries for free. The bottom line here, you can literally start testing these capabilities today without spending a dime. And even the paid plans cost less than what most businesses will use to spend on a single research report. Let's break down 4 powerful ways that you can use deep research right now. And I'm going to give you some actual prompts to try out within these tools. Now, these prompts and the post that goes along with this are actually going to be in my Substack. So that's aiqueens.substack.com. And I put a overview of each podcast episode directly in my Substack. So if you want the prompts, that's where that'll be. Now, number 1, you can figure out what your customers actually want. I put this first because this is the very first basic thing that I would want any of you all to do with deep research. So if you are still guessing at what your audience wants, please stop. AI can scan forums, reviews, YouTube comments, subreddits, Facebook groups, and it can pull these themes directly from your people's mouths, or I guess directly from their keyboards, right? So here's a prompt that you can try. Search top Reddit threads, Amazon reviews, Facebook groups, or you would just fill in the blank here for your industry or niche. Summarize what people are complaining about, asking for, or that they wish existed. Organize them into themes with direct quotes. Here's why this matters. You are not just seeing what people say that they want. It's also going to organize it so that you can see the patterns in what they struggle with, what they're tired of, and what they're willing to actually pay for. You can use this to validate your next offer, to slightly change up your positioning a little bit, or build a lead magnet that speaks directly to the pains that they are articulating themselves in these forums, right? Your clients, they're going to these places, these online places, and telling you exactly what they want. Deep research is helping you find that information so that you can use it. Number 2, know exactly what your competitors are doing so that you can do it smarter. Now, with deep research, this is something that you can track what competitors are offering, how they're pricing it, what their clients are saying, what they're ranting and raving about, what they're complaining about, and where you could potentially stand out. So here's a prompt to try. Find 5 competitors offering your same service in your niche or region. Summarize their pricing, offers, positioning, client reviews, and help me identify any common complaints or gaps in their messaging. So you can use this to spot what everyone else is doing the same way, and then you can do it differently. Maybe talk about done-for-you systems. If no one's offering a done-for-you strategy, but that's something that people in your area are asking for. Maybe they're focused on automation, but your clients want hand-holding. Deep research can help you find that edge. All right, number 3, build a messaging strategy that's backed by real language, not just vibes and not just your own anecdotes, right? So brand voice is great. And we've all got our unique brand voice. You know what's even better? Building a brand voice on what actually works in your market. So here's a prompt that you could try. I want you to analyze the language in 100 plus 5-star reviews and testimonials from top service providers in your niche. Identify the emotional tone, frequently used phrases, and calls to action that resonate, and summarize this in a messaging guide. Now, the result here is that instead of guessing whether to say scale with confidence or grow without chaos, you will know exactly what's going to land with your ideal audience and why. You can use this to write better sales page copy, better email copy, better scripts, Instagram captions that are going to convert like crazy because they're speaking to your people in the language that they are actually using. Number 4, this is the last one and one of my favorites, creating high authority content that positions you as the expert. I don't know how many of you are on LinkedIn right now, but it feels like everybody's using the same templates. Everybody's repeating each other. Deep research can help you find fresh angles, contrary takes, and data to back up your point of view. Here is a prompt that you can try. Summarize the most common arguments in recent content, articles, YouTube podcasts on a specific topic, and you would give it the topic that you want to talk about. What are the repetitive takes? What's missing? Suggest 3 unique perspectives that I could write about with supporting research. And then a bonus move would be to ask for 10 recent statistics or case studies that would support your hot take so that you come out swinging with credibility. An example, you're tired of the productivity content that just says, wake up earlier. You need to get up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. to get in all this extra to-dos. Your AI can actually, I hate that messaging so much. I am not a 5 a.m. person. I am a 9 a.m. person. So those types of productivity content pieces are just not for me. You could use AI to uncover what people really need. And what they're really struggling with is decision fatigue. So you could write about designing an AI workflow that's going to reduce context switching. That could become your signature angle for this article or this LinkedIn post, right? So you're taking something that everybody's talking about and you are flipping it on its head because your audience wants it a different way. Here's what's wild. All of this, all 4 of these, could have been done before AI, but they would have taken days of research. And now you can put these queries into AI and it's going to take minutes. Now, it's going to feel like a really long time because a lot of the stuff that we put into ChatGPT, we expect a response right away. And you can actually, I've got my notifications in ChatGPT set up, so I can put in a deep research query and walk away, go make another cup of coffee, go take my dog for a walk. And when the deep research is done, I get a little notification to my Apple Watch. But it's going to take that time and it's going to scan and summarize 50, 100, more than 100 articles in just a few minutes. Like I said, most queries are between 5 and 30 minutes. Claude can pull tone and sentiment from thousands of comments in just a few minutes. This isn't just cool tech. This is a strategy for women who are ready to lead in their niche and become the authority. Now, here's Here's a mic drop stat for you. 9 out of 10 Fortune 500 companies are using competitive intelligence to gain an edge on their competitors. And with AI, you can too. Early adopters of this are already reporting 4x revenue increases and 30 to 50 times time savings just from integrating deep research into their strategy and their content workflows. And we're talking $20 a month. That's less than what I spend on oat milk lattes, right? So I've said it before, I will say it again. This is the hill I'm going to die on. It is the best $20 you will spend in your business every month. I don't want you to think that this is not about outsourcing your genius or outsourcing your expertise to a robot. Remember, you are going to have to comb through all of these insights and figure out what pieces you can use. And that's where your specific expertise comes in. That's something that AI can't replicate. It's just that now, with deep research, you can move faster, go deeper, and compete like a big brand without acting like one. There you have it, Queens. My big announcement, plus 2 game changers that are going to transform how you work with AI. To recap, AIQueens.com is live with all of your resources and that new one-on-one AI chat CEO service. Crown 2.0 is going to make your prompting so much more effective. And finally, deep research. It's your new competitive advantage that levels the playing field between you and the big players. Remember, the future belongs to the women who embrace these tools strategically. I don't want you sitting on the sidelines, wondering if you're techie enough. You don't have to be techie. You just have to be willing to start. If today's episode sparked some ideas and you want to dive deeper, head on over to AIQueens.com and book that one-on-one AI chat. Let's figure out exactly how AI can transform your specific business. And also, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review if this was helpful, and share it with another queen who needs to hear this. Until next time, keep experimenting, stay curious, and remember, keep reigning with AI.
Thanks for listening to the AI Queens podcast. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow queen who needs to hear this. Want more tips and tools? Join the AI Queens Society at aiqueenssociety.com and start ruling your business with confidence today. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and keep reigning with AI.